Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. A man with passion can be charismatic. Now, as I said before, I'm going to get more into the charisma aspect of manhood. But there's not one single type of charisma. But there's a charisma that can come from a man simply being passionate. And what do I mean by passionate? And I have to be very clear about this. It's not that passion that, like being all emotional and stuff. It's that passion, that energy that a man has when he is on his mission. He's doing what he wants to do. He enjoys what he's doing. It's like the passion you see like with top sports players, whether it's football, basketball, tennis, snowboard, skiing, racing, or whatever they do. A man who really gets into it. A man can show his passion when he discusses his love of ants, but he does it in such a way that it draws people to him. He's not like, well, the ants do all this and they walk around and they carry food and, come into your house. The man with passion be like, yeah, the ants be out here. They just doing their thing, chilling, doing what they do. Sometimes they run up in your house or something, And see, the thing is that passion, what is that passion? It's energy. It's energy. See, one thing, let me go a little deeper, because people who follow me on my Deep Thought channel know I can go deep into the metaphysics, real deep. Ultimately, it's about the energy. People are drawn to energy, of people's energy. In fact, in some places, especially in many urban areas, they'll say they feel that person's vibe, or they don't like that person's vibe. Like, nobody wants to be around that ho-hum person. Nobody. You might deal with them if you have to for business or you're working on a job, but you ain't going to be around them. But that person who can make even the most mundane things seem exciting, they fire you up. Shit. You go on a job or something, like say you work in retail. That person who can make, I don't know, putting out clothes or something exciting. It's like, oh yeah, but that person born is like, man, that's anything. Think about it. So, that passion, that passion can draw people. That passion can draw people. And it's not always like the fun passion though. Like, say you have I remember I read something about Napoleon Bonaparte. And they said just his presence could fire up the soldiers. Just his presence, the way he did things, the way he interacted or something. But he had a passion for what he did, which was warfare, conquest, And you can see that anywhere. Like a true leader, like you see some of these politicians who have a ton of charisma. It's their passion. They have a passion for what they're talking about. Yeah, it could be basic bullshit since they are politicians, but they got a passion for it. Or you'll see a minister. You ever see those ministers who can fill up like a mega church? It could be 20,000 seats in there. They'll have standing room only. 3 services a day, and yet they always in there. One of the things they have is passion. Now, they preaching a word that, quite frankly, let's be real. This is no offense to any Christians, but there's only so many things written in the Bible. And if you go to church long enough, you're going to hear every chapter. You're going to hear every chapter, but what they do, they'll take a simple verse, have a whole speech on it, and really impact people. People being there, giving the stuff, walking up to the altar, giving their little tithes, I used to see guys, they be pimping up there. Get that pimp walk up there, really getting into it. And in fact, in some seminaries, they actually teach that. It's an art. But that's that passion thing. Like you see the leaders, they can say something, and it's the passion that's coming forward. Now, this not to say as a man you need to be like some minister or some politician or pimp or anything, or the life of the party. It's just that having that passion in how you do things, how you speak. What's your voice tone? Is it a monotone? Or does it have some color to it? Does it go different up peaks and valleys, bring them in, or talking about something? Is there passion? Like I said, can you talk about whatever it is that you have a joy in life with? Can you talk about it with passion? Or you just living life with passion? Are you that type of guy who you just be quiet walking down the street? Are you walking like all slow and your head down? Or you walking with a pep in your step? Like you just got with that fine ass woman. You walking with a pep. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, seriously, just having some joy and excitement. And see, when women get that energy, boom. I talked about that in a podcast recently. Just life itself. But this is a part of that. Because the thing with women, understand something. The yin energy is still. The yin energy, the true feminine energy. Even these women who might be on some Amazon shit, they still got some of that yin energy in them. The yin energy is perfectly still. If the woman's at extreme yin, she ain't moving at all. Totally still, frozen. It's like that iceberg. It waits for the sun to come out to heat it up. In fact, I've been throwing out the M word lately, metaphysics. If you look at an energetic level, women are magnetic, so they trying to draw energy to them. Men are electric. Part of that electricity is that passion. Like you can fire people up. You ever be around that person, and it could actually be a man or a woman who could just fire people up. That's what a lot of motivational speakers do. They really just firing people up. They use that passion. They turn it into it. Shit, they can make some bullshit sound good. But it's that energy. So if a man develops that, he can draw people to him. Now, how would the ordinary person develop that? You probably say, well, I'm not gregarious like that. I'm even introverted. All right. So what are you excited about? What's the thing that really fires you up? And not some negative thing either. Like, what is it that you do in life? First of all, think about it like that. What is it you do? Because remember, I've said this in a podcast before. I said every single man should master some type of body of knowledge, some skill, at least one thing. At least one thing. So say you working on that one thing. And when I say you working on, you ain't just studying superficially. You getting down into the deep stuff about it. Like if somebody should be able to walk up to you, whatever your skill set is, and say, okay, let me give you an example. My private site, people know I have webinars every month. I bring people in. I should be able to walk up to you and say, hey, you want to do a webinar on this thing? And you should be able to say, without even thinking about it, say, yeah. And then tell me a bunch of stuff that maybe the public don't know. Like anybody in knowledge, you got to get deep into it. You got to dig into it. You got to be able to talk about stuff that somebody can't just casually find, like anything. But then as you find it out, then you need to be in a position where you can explain that. You'll find, since if it's your passion, you probably have a love for it, you can explain it in such a way as boom. And I've actually seen people do that. I've known men and honestly some women too. I'll explain this to women who they don't know shit about. They like boring as hell, whatever. But they explain something. Like I remember I was in a workshop, a writer's workshop one time when I was at this writer's expo. And I was just sitting there chilling and met this young lady. And she was real quiet, real kind of mousy when you met her outside of it. But then she presented the workshop. I was like, damn, this is like night and day, because she went full passion into it. She got fully into it, and she was like really dropping some knowledge, and it was like, damn, that was like night and day. You meet outside, boring, mousy. Inside, she was a lioness, and so guys can do that too. Like, figure out what that thing is. Figure out what that thing is. Learn all aspects of it, be able to explain it. Now, that energy, once you develop in that one area, you can transfer it to anything. It's very important, very important. So if you have that passion, you can be charismatic. So that's all I have for now. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.